Since the dawn of mankind, we've been gazing at the heavens and wondering, does it gaze back? Do aliens really exist? Or is it all just a waste of space? Encounters of the second and the third kind, do they happen? A 1961 couple that was just driving home with no reason to ever draw attention to themselves in a troubled time in our history as a nation became the first recorded abduction case in America. In 1975, a 22-year-old man would possibly become the most famous abduction case. When after a long day of work, working hard labor, all he wanted to do was go home, not disappear for 5 full days, with all his co-workers left to witness. Let's look ahead and talk about these videos today. I hope you guys join us for the whole episode. This is GoneRogue.
Yes, sir.
MissingPika, no.
Hell yeah.
And I'm OneLane. And together, we are
Midnight
Enigmas.
That's right. A one taker. I don't know if it's worth the shit. I feel
that was good, brother. I like it.
One time. I messed up one
time. I like the reading out.
Well, it doesn't matter.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
That was.
We gotta do that more often. We said
I'd rather use that than we doing any takes. That was actually pretty
dude. That
good.
was so good.
Save
that
me
was
time.
so good. That was professional.
First question right off the bat. Do aliens exist? Just yes or no?
I believe so.
I want to say yes. There's way too much out there to not be.
Without any kind of like pre-ideas to it, like no matter what they are,
No.
I think aliens exist too. And that just means technically not of this earth, something not from this earth. So that could be a lot of things. So yes, I believe so.
Where it's little space amoebos or full-blown worm people or
what we think of as aliens, I would say yes. Okay, so then that leaves another question. There's another major theory going on, especially right now. And like I said, I've been watching a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different things, and there seems to be 2, maybe 3 fronts, like opinions, major leading opinions on this, is that I have found the 3 leading I guess hypothesis or thoughts leading thing. It was aliens from literal outer space, from somewhere outside of our solar system or whatever, a different planet coming to Earth. Aliens that have already been here since we as humankind have existed, and they've just been hiding, starting to make themselves known, underwater bases and stuff like that. Or that everything we are seeing that appears as aliens are not. They are demons or angels, entities. Ooh. Those seem to be...
I've never heard of that. Or
seem to be,
really that theory of that being like that.
It's the 3
that
leading.
Could be. Like, for real? I think they're just coming out of hiding. I think we're waking them up by okay, there's a story in here that we'll probably get to in a little bit.
This is just opinion based at the beginning. Just get everybody's initial thoughts.
I think they're just coming out of hiding. I think we're doing something that is awakening them, or just like, them. I don't really know how to explain it. Like,
just getting their interest in us, getting their interest in us.
Hold on to the oh shit handle, I think.
Okay. What about you, MissingPika?
For me,
or you have another opinion?
I think, like, for the most part, they're still in space. All that. They're minding their own business, but there might be a chance of a few, if they aren't fake, on the planet. well, looking at the planet at least. And maybe they just look at us and don't want to interact with us because maybe we're just too fucking stupid to coincide with them.
Little
like,
ants.
That too.
Yeah, they're like
That too.
whatever teal society, and we're just like what, teal 1. So like, yeah, but
We're
like
peasants to what they are.
I just think that for the most part, it's either A, that they're spying on us to just want to learn how we act since all that shit, or there's like many others like us and they're just on their planets and they're dumb as us as well.
Right. Well,
Because like I believe in like possibility because the universe is infinite.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like I always had to believe in aliens because of that.
Mathematically speaking, yeah.
Because it just doesn't make sense to have all them planets and stars and stuff,
Sure.
and we're only livable planet.
Unless Earth has the best fucking seed, genetic fucking seed God has ever gifted amongst the fucking universe. Or maybe the the atheist, the Big Bang Theory, all that shit.
Right.
But like,
I think
either Earth has the best fucking genetics that did the impossible, or there just has to be aliens.
Right. I think there's a very good possibility for all three. I think there is a lot of evidence for each one of those scenarios.
Yeah.
But as far as I personally, I thought I believed in something. Like I thought I was number one or number 2 of those options, like either from space or they'd already been here for a long time. But some recent events, I'm kind of leaning towards being possibly demonic and not even alien at all. So that's all opinion based, and maybe we'll get into some of that with the at the end of the episode when we see if anything's changed in our opinions or if we stayed the same.
1957. We got this, I don't know if you've heard it, but his name is Valiant Thorn.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. He was suspected to be a visitor from Mars.
That's how he presented himself, right?
Yeah, and he presented himself as a human, 6'2", 185 pounds, pretty sure. But he was wearing a gold-plated suit that was practically indestructible. And he came to talk to President Isaac.
And they got pictures of him and everything. Sitting in the audience during.
He came to tell him that we should stop with the nuclear weapons before we destroy ourselves. That was his mission. That was his one and only mission. And he was allowing himself, because he thought it would grow him closer. So they gave him a nice room in the Pentagon, and he lived in the Pentagon with us for 3 years, and till he vanished out of nowhere. But like, they got pictures of this dude. They said they couldn't destroy his suit in any other way. They couldn't figure out how it was so indestructible. And yeah.
The thing at the end of the story you're talking about, he disappeared. There was other people that showed up for him. He had a female with him. There was a female and they all left to leave together wherever they went. But yeah,
because he felt like his mission was unsuccessful because
he couldn't change our minds. Yeah, he couldn't change our minds, and we were doomed. That's a good story. That's a good Valiant Thor. That's what he called. That's what he called himself. The name he chose for himself,
Thor,
that we could understand in our language, was Valiant Thor. What a name! The pictures of this dude.
That's a badass name.
Yeah, the pictures of this dude are really cool too. It's remarkable. There's a lot of theories on that too, from what I can remember. Yeah. I don't know if you can bring up some pictures of him. Did you have any?
I can. Valiant Thor.
But there's a lot of speculation that
he looks.
There's a lot of speculation that he was like a Russian spy sent here to get us to disarm, so that way they'd have more nukes than us. As that was, like I said, that was definitely during the Cold War, and
It was Cold War. Yep.
I
Was
see.
Cold War.
And the fact that he lived in the White House was to get around all that knowledge to send information back to Russia. Well, it was USSR at that time, Soviet Union. He could have been inside the White House to spy. There's a lot of theories on that.
He shook the president's hand too.
Yeah, I mean, there's pictures of him in the crowd during like press conferences and every time the president spoke and all kinds of stuff. He's there. He's in the photographs.
No.
It was Venus.
He was an
my bad, not
alien?
Mars. It wasn't
No,
Mars. It
in
was
other
Venus.
words, he was either an alien or an illegal alien.
Or spy. Yeah.
Here's a couple photos of Valiant
That's kind
Thor.
of crazy.
You gonna screen share or
Yep.
they just
slap
pop
that
up.
shit onto
Should
us, or you gonna like give us the meats?
give us the meat. It's what's
Oh, we
for
got
dinner.
old Valiant. Oh, I was so excited to get this one. There's a story that goes along with this where he was branded by one of the head up legal security teams, I'm pretty sure, that actually allowed him out of the Pentagon a couple times with
That was something.
and that's how the first photo of him got caught, because he had went to a UFO convention to see if that would help him in his mission.
Valiant 4, extraterrestrial from Venus. From Venus?
Those are really little. I just realized.
If
Yep.
you living in fucking Venus, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like,
That's right.
of all the planets to pick, why would pick
Fucking-
one? Pick
fucking
one.
Venus?
Yeah, that's closer to the sun. It's very, very poisonous, gaseous, and I mean it's still a rocky planet, but it's like.
He picked the planet that rhymes with penis?
Have you seen like the only thing that we've ever had to land on Venus was also Russian, by the way, and it survived for 3 to 4 minutes on the surface of Venus and sent back pictures before it burned up. And it's like a hazy yellow from the surface,
Yeah.
like the atmosphere or whatever is so
Orangey.
thick.
Mm-hmm.
Thick and everything. It's like a hazy yellow and rocky. Now, the thing is, like, if it let's take it at face. Did you ever find them pictures?
Yeah, I put them in.
Yeah,
Oh, I
uh,
thought you was
VC
gonna
chat.
screen share. My bad.
Oh, you want me to? I can screen share.
I thought.
If you'd rather do that.
No, that's fine. I can zoom in this way. I didn't know that you did it already. I'm sorry. I was waiting on a screen share. I was trying to fill time while you was gonna screen share, but there's old Valiant.
Set.
It does get blurry when I just zoom in, but yeah, he's a very handsome man for that day and time, right?
Yep, he chose.
Yeah,
a
it looks
good
like
appearance for
it looks like a Richard Nixon.
Yeah, what is the Nixon picture you got in there? That's Eisenhower and Nixon.
Is that Eisenhower Nixon?
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
that's
that's
in
Nixon.
there for. I don't know what that's in there for, but
must have
I
put the
guess
wrong
is it
one.
because fucking Valiant 4 looks like Richard Nixon. That's what it is. He looks like Richard Nixon. No. Imagine that fucking guy's like Richard Nixon's clone, made by the FBI or some shit.
yeah,
That'd be diabolical.
I don't know what I believe in this story. I think let's take it at face value. All right, so let's start like for the breaking it down. Like, let's say to be from Venus, number one, it can't be from our timeline. It's impossible.
Right.
So he would have to be from the way in the past before Venus would have ever done it. And why would they care?
Oh, so you're thinking time traveled?
I don't think so.
hit Earth?
Not personally. I don't believe he's from Venus. I don't believe this aspect.
Maybe he was
of
using
it.
it as a subplanet
Yeah, I don't
because he
necessarily.
knew that planet.
I don't necessarily.
Or his ancestors were from Venus before the sun got a lot powerful.
Yeah, like so.
But
It's very possible that, because I mean, I don't know if the story is if his story is 100% real, then he couldn't be. There's no way he could be from our timeline. It would have had to been from a time where Venus was the Earth before the Earth is like scientifically, historically speaking, as the as the sun spit out our rocks and stuff, and that became planets, or gravitationally pulled the planets together to make planets.
Yeah.
While they were cooling off, at one point in time, Venus would have been the Earth because it would have been in a Goldilocks zone before the sun got burned up, basically. So, I mean, that's a very small timeline, like space-wise. It's not, but it's a very small timeline for people to exist there and become space-traveling people and be able to move come to Earth. So, like I said, there's parts of his story that I personally feel are non-believable. I just don't know. Venus sounds weird to me, especially when at that time Russia was trying to land something on Venus. That's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff adds up to me to be Cold War related as a spy more than anything. But I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's still, his message was a good message, but he didn't,
stop it from blowing everybody up.
He didn't really go to Russia to tell them to get rid of their nukes. He came here to tell us to get rid of ours. But was he just talking to?
Well, I heard that
talking about everybody to get rid of them.
Multiple people that came with him to different continents that all vanished at the same time.
Yeah, that's possible, because I do know for a fact that there was a woman with him at the end before he left or disappeared wherever they went, whatever country they went back to, whatever planet they went back to, whatever that belief structure is. I do know that. So where did she come from? Did she just appear and they left, or was she coming from Russia or somewhere else, so on the planet that was trying to produce the same message, and they just never let it out that happened there too. But yeah, Valiant Thor is a really good story. It's
it's
kind of weird, but
it landed 1957 March 16th. He was wearing an all gold jumpsuit with no seams, and he spoke with a voice that carried an easy confidence. And
I wonder if they ran experiments on it, because he said he couldn't cut it, or I wonder whatever happened. Did he take it back with him when he left?
What do you call those guys? The insider guy.
NASA?
One of the Secret Service guys.
Okay.
That was covering his he stayed in the West Wing Pentagon for 3 years, and the guy that was guarding his door ended up becoming best friends with him. And what do you call those? Leakers? Not leakers. Anyways, he ended up saying that they ran tests, like he was willingly letting them run tests on him, so maybe it would give more of like a, okay, I did this for you type of thing, now will you do this for me? And once he realized that wasn't going nowhere, he just kind of got fed up and left.
I remember something, I don't know if he basically said, you guys are not going to do what I'm asking, you're not going to disarm and all this other, so you're a lost cause type deal. And
lost cause.
And just
that was his last word. And then
just left. That's what I could remember of it, but I don't know how accurate any of that is. Mr. Research Guy. That's a good story. It's a good catch. I forgot all about the Valiant Thor story. I hadn't thought about it in a few years.
Yeah, I did. I listened to the Valiant Thor. Guess we can give him a little shout out. I love listening to these dudes.
Yeah.
At work. Sightings. They covered Valiant Thor today, and I listened to it. It was so good. I was like, yo, we can talk about Valiant Thor. Because I've heard about Valiant like so much. Dude, I think it's so cool. Because like, if we would have like freaking, blew each other up, and coming down here to stop us from blowing up the Earth.
Right.
It's a good little. I like it. Valiant Thor is pretty cool.
Like I said, I don't necessarily know if I believe the story, but I do know that it did happen.
Like you said, yeah, he could have been a Russian spy too.
I
mean, we was dead straight middle of Cold War.
Yeah, we got 100% pictures of this man who claimed, this being that claimed the story was true, and had everybody. That's the one thing that gets me, is knowing at that day and time, knowing that the Cold War is going. If they speculated that he was a Russian spy, why would they let him in the White House, stay there, and have access to the president?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I also heard Eisenhower's daughter was like this with him, from what I've heard. Like, she knows so much more about him than anybody else.
Another aspect of it, because our government does stupid things all the time, but I don't think they would willingly let a Russian spy, if they suspected that,
sit in the White House for 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 years, and have access to. I mean, guarded access nonetheless, but he still was relatively close to president and a lot of congressmen and all that stuff there in DC. So if they suspected that he was Russian, and they still let that happen, that's I mean, why would they do that? That's crazy. But so I don't know, man. It's a weird story on both sides.
Arrived in a small craft in Alexandria, Virginia, March 1957.
Wonder if people actually witnessed the crash or witnessed the crash.
He just landed. He didn't crash. He just landed.
I'd like to know if people.
There's a picture of the quote unquote crash. I don't know if it's real, but we can put it on here.
All right, lay it on.
It's kind of small, actually.
Well, I mean,
that's what she said.
Be just one person in there. Oh, and plus, not maybe the body that he presented himself in was not his original body. You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah, they could have been a shapeshifter or something. Shapeshift into it.
I mean, who knows?
It was like Richard Nixon.
How they talk about his gold-plated suit. I don't think there is pictures of him in it.
I'd almost rather you screen share than to send it in chat, because
they probably, yeah.
Is that for real? Like what they said is that's the craft one?
This is the only image of his ship.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure.
That's weird looking, bro.
Look like a little triangle. It sounds like it looks like it makes those little bubble sounds.
It's a metal Dorito. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the only picture of that photo.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. Ship.
That's something else. Something else that I want to talk about at the end of this is how every single UFO sighting, every single UFO pictures, all fall right into the line of the year that they were discovered or taken in. Like, you can't look at that and tell me that ain't a 1950s, 1960s version of a UFO. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, that thing you just sent, it looks, even look at our cars back then, it's all square bodies and no fly. I mean, every picture of everything is it is a direct representative of the timeline that the picture was taken in. Get into now, you're seeing like the bat wings, the saucers, the V-shaped stuff, just like we got the bomb. Like everything is a direct.
The B-2 bomber.
Yeah, everything looks like what we currently have. So
yeah, a lot of speculation that the B-2 bomber uses alien technology. I'm pretty sure it's the only aircraft that can't be detected by any radar. I don't know. I might have to look that up.
Can't speak on that because I don't know that. But
does look like a UFO though, flying in the air.
Yeah, it looks like a 1950s version of what one should look like. If it's real, that's what I'm trying to say. Is like
to be fair, when it comes to like time and shit, I mean, fucking look at the fucking Cybertruck. That shit's a literal cube.
Yep.
Yeah. Cybertruck looks like.
So like, we can't exactly judge it being like a simplistic shit, like it's from a Nintendo 64 cartridge.
Yeah.
And like, or 60s and all that shit. So it could be a chance that it's real, possibly.
I don't know. I just want to say I like looking at both sides of things.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
I like to leave things
See,
open and then give my
I
opinion
like
on
to
stuff.
be the security guard that became best friends with him and let him go to like a space convention.
Taking to
Because
McDonald's
that was
or
pretty
something.
cool.
And
Well,
what
apparently he got
aliens
him
like
out
from McDonald's?
Apparently he was from the story that was today, the guard let him out and they went to a space convention to see if he can gather a party to be more convincing towards the president. And that was when the first leaked photo of him showed up. And yeah, the security guard, the service member almost got fired. Or he did get fired, and then Valiant Thor had him rehired through convincing them to rehire him. His appearance was described as a human-looking male, with 6 fingers on each hand, wavy brown hair, and brown eyes.
6 fingers? Did he have 6 fingers in this picture?
Did he have? Wait.
Gravity Falls, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Oh wait, yeah, he does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Where do you see 6?
Oh shit.
Unless that's just heavily blurred.
What picture are you looking at?
The newspaper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
See, I'm not for sure that it's the guy holding the newspaper. I think it's the guy on the other side, across from him with his arms crossed.
I don't know. Wait, that's the wavy... No, I think it's the guy with the newspaper. It's his wavy brown hair.
Oh. Okay.
Purpose claimed he was from Venus and sought to assist humanity, specifically regarding deactivation nuclear weapons.
Well, I mean, that would be a way to convince the government. I mean, he'd show up with 6 fingers on your hand. I mean, you can't really fake that. So...
To be honest, there is genetic defects that do that shit.
That's true.
But for both hands, that would be really hard for both hands.
That's true. But I mean, like, I'm just trying to come up with an idea of why in the world a government in that time
let him stay in the Pentagon.
There had to be something to convince them.
Like, if he didn't get fed up, he probably would have been there for longer.
Yeah.
Like,
so I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with anything.
Dude, I was just trying to sit there and think. He's sitting in there. He's like, man, these damn peasants. I'm so done with this shit. Unplug this shit. I'm going home.
But see, there's the thing too. You're trying to convince the world to do this, or at least America, whatever his goal was, to disarm nuclear weapons and stop using them. And you get mad. They won't listen to you. You didn't have a last resort. You say we're a lost cause. I mean, why not before you disappear? But like, this is real. I'm real. Here's my alien body. Look at me. And then they're like, oh, he is real, and then maybe we might have listened.
Like, okay, what do we do as humans? We kill shit. We kill shit. We're fucking...
I agree. I can definitely agree with that.
We have a problem with...
But he was leaving
killing
anyways.
the unknown.
I think he was leaving anyway, so I mean, that'd have been the last thing I would have done if it was me. It was the last thing I would have done before I stepped my foot on my ship. To leave, I'd be like, here I am.
I've been like in my ship
ass as I'm walking out.
I've been like this guy. I have to be inside my ship already, about 10 feet off the ground, and then show myself, because I'm not doing that shit on the ground just for a missile to smack my ass or some shit.
Well, ain't nothing we can do to shoot him down.
I got a crazy what if.
Yeah, so my ass be in my ship doing that. But
what if the alien, and we're gonna put this in quotation marks, was secretly in fucking Israel?
Oh my gosh. He never said a word about Israel. Valiant Thor never said a word about Israel.
He never said a word about any other planet. He just wanted us to stop.
Yeah.
And it comes crazy because it was right around, well, a little bit after we bombed Hiroshima and stuff. That I think that if that was a wake-up call for them, I think that was when it happened, was when they're like, oh shit, these guys have figured out how to create mass destruction really fast, and that's super dangerous. Now
I only have two arguments. Well, one argument for that.
I like the fact that he came as a human shaped figure because he couldn't come as a regular self. There would be no shit. There would be no standing against that.
I can agree, but like I said, I'm trying to look at both sides and trying to decide where I'm at with it. I don't know. I'm very.
Could have been a Russian.
Do it? Yeah. I mean,
it could have been a Russian.
I don't know. I see both sides. I see both possibilities.
Dude, I don't know how
the one catch up in this story, like I said, is Venus for me.
A Russian to get that close.
Yeah, Venus for me as well. It's kind of crazy.
That's the one hitch in the story for me. Like one of the biggest ones is the Venus part, and on the other side of the spectrum, like I said, the government.
No way. Dude shook president's hand.
Yeah, let a Russian, somebody who could be a Russian spy in. So I see both sides of that. So I don't know. And like I said, ultimately he had a good message. So I mean, that's another thing that I'd want to believe it.
I wish would have happened.
He did no harm to nothing while he was here. He was very, I guess, what is that? Political, but not really political. A very I don't know. Try to negotiate and talk through peaceful means. Mm-hmm. So I mean,
it had nothing to do with money or anything.
Yeah, no, it didn't want anything except for us.
It was all about saving our planet. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, here's my that's been the thing and a theme for a lot of alien sightings and a lot of people who claim to hear things and talk to things. My number one question has always been, why do they care? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't walk across my parking lot out here and worry about the ants that I'm stepping on. I never think about them. Never think about the bugs on the ground that I'm. That's what we are in the spectrum of the universe of the known. Because we're nothing. We don't have nowhere near the abilities that they have, if they exist, to be able to travel freely like they do. Why would they even care about what we're doing with ourselves and our planet at that point?
Well, here comes rule number 3, Hector. Are they angels?
Right. Or demonic. Right, because one exists without the other. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things you can look at and put that spin on everything. See that I don't know. The thing that I have against that is when angels show up, they automatically announce themselves.
Right.
Always.
Not to be afraid. Yeah.
Don't be afraid, for I'm a messenger of God or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'm sure they don't show up in freaking flying objects, too.
Or would they lie and say, I came from Venus? No. They would say, I'm a messenger of God. If they're a good being. I think that's why I say I don't. Anything that we would be seeing would be lean towards demonic more than anything.
Unless there's.
I mean, aliens or demonic. I'm talking about as far as the angels versus demons category. It would be more demonic than angels.
Unless it's like a thing with the Earth where if something would happen to Earth, it would affect their reality.
Because it's supposed to happen. Biblically, it's supposed to happen.
What if they're not aliens, but like us from a different reality that lives on the Earth, whether in the future, sort of time traveling.
I mean, like the multi-dimensional, multi-Earths or whatever theories where they can just.
We're just crossing paths.
Yeah.
In and out.
I just don't know. My theory, my thing on that is I don't know. Is that harder to wrap your brain around than just saying I come from Venus? That doesn't really make sense, survivability wise. Like, I would rather, but also you got to look at the times.
Unless Venus is a placehold.
It's a placehold, but I still don't know why you would lie about it or whatever.
I'm from planet 12 blip blop rop lop.
I mean,
Ramalama Maling Dong.
I would rather say, I come from a planet the language don't exist for you to me to tell it to you yet. You ain't discovered it or something like that. Other than the fact of I come from a
Let's use
planet,
Venus.
yeah, a planet that nothing can live on that we know of.
Hi, I came from Planet Proon. Nice to meet you.
So I mean, I definitely want to believe both sides. I can believe both sides. I don't know which one I'm leaning on 100%. And he could have just been, an American that used this story to get in to try to, I don't know how you'd have 6 fingers. So if that's true, I don't know. There's things that on both sides that are believable, both sides are not believable. So I don't know where I am on this story. It's pretty good.
They did do a what do you call them, exams to find out how smart you are.
Like the IQ test or whatever.
IQ test, and he I think was at 250. Ooh. Like he was like way beyond Einstein level.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Einstein's not even like our top 10 people on the planet right now.
Not now, no.
But he's still a genius.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Fucking 250?
Yeah, that's pretty high. I don't know.
God damn. Yeah. Dude, I only got like 120. He makes me look like a fucking dipshit.
Well, we're peasants to aliens, bruh.
That's what I'm saying.
No
that's
like he said, we're ants.
When it comes right down to it, that's what I'm saying. When I think about the possibility of them being from, like a real being from a different planet, that aspect of it. If that's the why does this planet and us as people matter? It shouldn't. But for the same breath is what would happen if we went out into space and discovered cavemen on a planet. Would those cavemen matter? I mean, I don't know. Would we observe them? Sure we would. See what. But
unless they have nice bodies, they have nice bodies and ooga booga.
Well, you know what I'm saying? It's that's what it would be like, and it would probably and actually the gap would be worse than that, because they would be so far advanced than us. The gap technologically and advancement would be worse than us looking back to the cavemen days. But I just don't know. I don't know how much it would matter, especially like you said, most things that the way aliens look are like they're not human. So I guess unless they're like you said, unless they're timeline wise us from a future coming back. But that's another thing too. That's always been something that I've thought about, is if aliens are humans and they're time traveling back to us to try to stop something, blah blah blah, they've survived, they've made it. Why would it matter if they change something or not? Unless they're trying to undo something that happened to them. But they're still surviving. I don't know. That's like going back in time and try to lower your electric bill. You still got to pay electric bill next month.
Or
it doesn't really
go
matter.
Back in time and stop Hitler from mass genocide. But I don't know where you'd get the motivation, I guess.
Like I said, I get that.
Maybe.
I don't think there's any being on the planet that wouldn't want to stop a mass genocide.
Right.
But I mean, I just ultimately, I just
reading up on this a little bit more, because I wanted to do some more investigating just a little bit. He quote unquote needed to in order to collect quote unquote specimens for their experiment, Valiant Thor made a deal with the President Eisenhower to supply the U.S. with quote cutting edge technology, what would later then become the quote unquote iPhone, in return for letting the alien experiment upon the American citizens. Eisenhower was first horrified, but eventually agreed when Valiant Thor possessed his wife and then threatened to kill her if he refuses.
Was that a theory or something? Is that
I'm reading his Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
So I don't
Wikipedia is weird.
Wikipedia could be wrong too.
Yeah.
But the cutting edge technology,
that stuff, I think.
These things are crazy.
Well, this is the 60s. They didn't come right out with iPhones, but what they did explode in is
computer technology.
Yeah, you're talking about the microprocessors. You're talking about fiber optics, stuff like that. Just came. It kind of came out of nowhere and exploded.
Random. Like, how do you figure out light?
But in all honesty, that also happened. After Roswell. Like, you could backwards engineer all this stuff if it's possible, if that's where it came from, or we just naturally advanced, like, to that. But I don't know. I don't, like I said, I'm still, it's fun stuff to think about regardless.
On September 16th, 1994.
My birthday.
Apparently, I'm not sure if this is true, but it's like a phenomenon that happened. There was a UFO sighting outside of Rua, Zimbabwe.
With all the kids.
I don't know. I don't think I pronounced that correctly.
That was my third story for today. I love it. Perfect.
Anyway. 62 pupils at the aerial school, aged between 6 and 12. Said that they saw one or more silver craft descended from the sky and land on a field near the school. So,
they was at recess.
Oh yeah,
why was that recess?
Oh, I've heard this one. Yeah, someone drew one. A kid drew one.
They drew one.
It's all of them. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, it's a crazy story. But apparently, some of the children claim that. One or more creatures dressed in all black. So, that makes me wonder, maybe there's secret men in black just pretending to be aliens to fucking LARPing, like in an RPG. But,
Men in Black's aliens,
I don't know. Good argument. Good argument. But apparently they approached them and telepathically communicated to them with an environmental theme. Which actually caused them to cry and fucking frighten them completely.
All the kids that were destroying the planet, we're all gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some crazy ass shit. But it's so weird.
The thing that gets me with that story is, like I said, they're all playing at recess, and they all leave recess early. They're scared. Some of them's crying, and they all run back into the building in a panic. And once they get them back into the classrooms, the one teacher started hearing them all talk about it and stopped class to have all the kids in her class start drawing these pictures. Show me what you saw. Stop talking. Don't talk to each other. Draw. And they all drew the same thing. So she bundled all those up and went to the next class. Somebody take my class. I want to talk to this class. Draw what you saw. And the entire school drew in a roundabout way the exact same things. The ones that there was only certain ones of them that heard the voice telepathically. There was only a handful of those, but they all had the same message too. It's very, very true.
It's drawing.
Yeah, that shit is just so crazy. But honestly, I can't say if it's true or not, because at the end of the day, it's he said, she said. If I'm not mistaken, Zimbabwe is in Africa, isn't it?
Yep. Yes, Zimbabwe is in Africa.
So it could be some crazy hallucination, because it's hard as shit over there. They fucking get melted. But it's September as well. It'd probably still be hot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're closer to the equator.
Yeah, it would still be fucking hot as shit. And if I'm not mistaken, the school specifically, isn't that fucking a expensive witch private school?
Well, in countries like that, I think, yes, you have to have money and stuff like that to be able to get an education. I'm not sure on that, but I do think it is a It's a private school. I do think that is a private school for either like local kids that have showed intellect, shown high, be able to, make good grades and stuff like that, and foreign, because a lot of the pictures that I've seen of there's also a lot of white kids and stuff that's in there.
Yeah, there was
So
white kids too.
So their families are there for one reason or another, and they're going to school there, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know.
That second picture I put in there is the famous one.
I think one of the biggest anti-evidence, it could be argued that it was just mass hysteria, because you know how children are. You know how children do.
Yes.
They like to imagine stuff. So like they're not the best example of like, a narrative that we should believe necessarily.
I can stand behind that too. The thing that gets me that kind of, in my opinion, kind of disproves the mass hysteria is that they all heard the same thing and saw the same thing, or at least very, very similar. That's the thing that it's a possibility on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, and here's the number one argument that I have, or another possibility besides mass hysteria, is a question of all the places on Earth, like Valiant Thor went straight to a White House to give his message. Of all the places on Earth, these aliens, these beings went to a school in the middle of nowhere to tell these little kids to stop killing the Earth. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Is it a possibility? Sure it is. They amount.
Well, what if they can't tell the difference between children though?
Well,
Yeah, they're smart. They should know.
What if those aliens were the Jeffrey Epsteins
oh God,
of space?
I knew you was gonna go there. They weren't. They just had to have a cover message. They was there looking up girl skirts.
Oh my God. Disgusting alien bastards. But good shoot up to the space.
That's a good story
That's
though.
funny as
I do
fuck.
like the story. There's been a documentaries or whatever. So the one thing that I liked about this documentary that I watched on this, it's been a few years ago, but like the headmaster of the school, basically the principal, didn't believe it. She didn't believe anything until a couple of these teachers came with all the drawings, and they went through them literally and saw that every drawing was basically the same.
Oh wait, ain't you already posted them? I just realized.
Yeah, they were all
The drawings.
basically the same. So there was small differences in like variables. I remember some of them said, the lights on it was one color, on the UFO was one color. Another group said it was this color. So was it just flashing, or did they just perceive the colors to be different colors?
Differently.
Some of them said the outfits on the aliens was black. Some of them said they were blue. Black and blue and certain lights can look similar. If it's a shiny black, it could look like a blue, maybe. So there's possibilities to say without that could cover both those scenarios also. Like I said, there's I don't know. I love the stories like this because there's no really right or wrong because we weren't there, but there's the possibility for each to be true. And that's what I love about this stuff, man. I love it because I don't know, and I love it.
Da, 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 da. He's loving it.
Is that all you had on that story, or any more?
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's just one alien story I kind of know.
Kind of found it. Yeah, it's a great, fascinating story.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So we've gone to first two stories of aliens with messages.
Now what's your story?
Well, what about there's no messages? Just
Oh my God.
just
I know this one.
science. Just science experiments of humans.
The first
ever
People.
reported abduction case in America was 1961.
Interracial couple.
Yeah. So in the 1960s, so late 1950s, 1960s, let's think about the state of the United States. The Deep South was still
going
still
hard.
Racial separation. Everything was crazy. Now, this story takes place in New Hampshire, so it's in the north, but still, they I don't know how the world was back then, but I know that seemingly an interracial couple it's tough. It had to be tough on them. So they're just wanting to be with each other and live their lives and do whatever. They don't want attention drawn to themselves. So that's the thing I got for these stories. So story that I got for is Barney and Betty Hill. It's a very, very popular story, very, very widely known story. But they were also, like I said, they were an American couple and they were civil rights activists. So they knew the different, that they needed to possibly lay low or whatever with their being an interracial couple. They knew that that's how they didn't need to draw attention to themselves. They needed to draw attention to the matter of civil rights, you know what I'm saying? And not something that takes away from something that could be that distracting from the civil rights movement. I don't know if they would make up a story about being abducted by aliens and have nothing to do with civil rights.
Yeah.
So let's go even further. Barney Hill was a World War II veteran. He was military.
Mm-hmm.
He was a fighter. He was a veteran. She was a teacher or something. What was she? Some kind of, I don't know exactly what she was.
She was a
I had it here earlier. Social worker. She was a social worker.
Yeah, social worker.
So they were either some of the stories that I don't know if exactly. I know they were coming back from Canada, like they had visited Niagara Falls in Canada, and they were making their way back home. And this was in the wilderness of New Hampshire, driving down the road, and Betty sees a light.
10:30 p.m.
She sees a light in the sky and thinks it's a star until the star starts moving and gets closer. And she tells, they had their dog with them, and she tells Barney about it. And he's like, oh, it's probably just a satellite. Maybe it's just a satellite or a plane or a satellite. She's like, I don't think it's following us. I don't think it's either. Why can't we just pull over and you can get a better look at it? We can get a better look at it and let our dog use the bathroom anyway. Okay, it's a good idea. So they pull over. Now, this is one piece of the story that I thought was a little weird. She had binoculars instantly. Now, they had been visiting
the Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. So, I mean, tourists, it's kind of a touristy thing, maybe. It's very possible. But supposedly she had binoculars and instantly was like looking at it. I don't think it's a plane. I don't think it's a satellite. Barney's not worried about it. He's like, it's got to be one of the two. He just gets the dog out. He's worried about getting the dog out, getting it a leash, taking it to use the bathroom. And they're on an isolated road, highway road, no other cars around, or at least in their stories, there's no other cars around. And as he's walking and letting the dog do its business, he notices that, it is kind of moving around up there. So he eventually gets his turn to look through the binoculars and is convinced it's a plane. Says it multiple times. It's just a plane. It's just a plane. Don't worry about it. So they get back in the car and they keep driving. And it keeps getting closer and closer and closer. And he starts getting afraid. And he doesn't want to let her know that he's afraid. But he's afraid because he doesn't know what it is. So they pull over a second time. And he gets the binoculars, walks into the middle of the road, and can see, this thing is so close, he can see windows and see beings looking out at him from the windows. And he instantly is scared to death in the middle of this road. And it's so frightful that a war veteran turns and runs back to his car to get his gun from his trunk. The trunk of his car, he had a pistol. Gets his pistols, tucks it into his pants, and he's like, we gotta leave, we gotta run, we gotta go now. This is the part of the story that they only remember through hypnosis. And I have some of the tapes, and it is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, you got audio footage?
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
It is terrifying.
I've never heard the audio file.
So from this point of the story, they hear like these clicks, random pops of some sort. I don't remember how they're described exactly, but it's like a clicking, a popping, some kind of ticking while they're trying to get away from this thing. And they basically black out. They have no idea. The next thing they remember without hypnosis is the ticking sound again. And it's like their eyes open and they're still in the car, but they're
They blip through time.
30 miles down the road, and they have lost 3 hours time on their trip. They're still in the road, still on the same road. They're 30 miles down the road, and it has been 3 hours since then. The time difference that they lost on the road trip was 3 hours. They didn't think, like, they were scared, but they didn't think nothing about it. When they get home, the first thing is Betty, the wife, had this weird feeling to not unpack their luggage. She put their luggage by the back door of the house and left everything packed. The husband,
I think their clothes was torn too.
well, yeah, she discovered this later, but Barney had a weird feeling that he needed to check his body out. Like something was wrong. He thought something might be wrong with himself. So he went to the bathroom and I guess for lack of a better, he checked out his genitals. He wanted to check it. Something was telling him to check, and he didn't find anything. He was fine. But it was like an overwhelming feeling that he needed to do this. So within eventually Betty they get their luggage and start unpacking, and that's when she notices that her dress was ripped at the hem, at the seam, and at the bottom of it. It was ripped at a couple spots, and there was like a weird, was it blue? I think it was blue, a weird bluish powder on her yellow dress. So she hung it up on the clothesline for a couple days, and the powder supposedly blew away. And she realized it was tore, and she was just going to throw it away, and then didn't. Saved it. Barney was still convinced that whatever they saw was weird. It was scary. Nothing. He was just trying to get it out of his mind, get rid of it, and just forget it.
Yeah.
But Betty started having nightmares. For 5 straight nights, she had weird nightmares of them driving and seeing men in the middle of the road. And the men grabbing them and walking them through the woods. And she'd looked over her shoulder and tried to call out, this is her dreams, tried to call out for Barney, and he was like a zombie. He was not responding, he was just walking. And she would get scared and wake up. She would get scared and wake up. 5 days in a row she had this dream. So they decided to go to a therapist. Because they couldn't, it was some kind of therapist, some kind of whatever. And that's actually how their story gets out, because they were never going to tell anybody.
They never,
They were never going to tell a word. And the therapist recorded their conversations and leaked it. So that's another thing that led me to the story. They were an interracial couple in the...
I'm pretty sure they actually sued them too.
An interracial couple from the 60s who didn't necessarily want to draw that type of, or any type of negative attention to themselves unless they were fighting for their social rights, which at that time could have been looked at as a negative thing, but in our world, that's a very positive thing. You want your rights. They want to fight for those rights, and they deserve to fight for them rights. So they were as civil rights people, movement people. They wanted, but they didn't want to take any. You don't want to take anything away from your standpoint. And this has nothing to do with that. So, like, they weren't willing to come forward and say anything. Somebody did it for them because their story was so crazy. So that led them to hypnosis. under hypnosis, Betty's story basically stayed the same. It fluctuated a little bit, but Barney's story, because he didn't remember anything.
He got the worst of it.
He didn't remember anything at all. He just knew that his wife was freaked out and was scared, and he was trying to show her that he wasn't scared, and they missed time and he got home. I don't know. This audio clip, I don't know if I got it keyed up to the right spot because I was listening to it earlier today and I stopped it. So I'm hoping it's right. I may have to do a cut and an edit to actually time it back in. But this video is crazy.
I have never heard the audio.
This is the very first session of hypnosis. And I fast forwarded through it a little bit. I'm getting to the part to where he's finally seeing and thinking what he saw is not a plane.
Yeah.
I think that's where I stopped it at. I'm gonna push play for myself real quick and make sure, and I'll be right back to you guys. Okay, here we go. It's just a small clip. I don't know how long I want to let this run, but I'll let it run for a while and then I can cut it out. This is he's under hypnosis. This is not a video. It's all audio. This is just a picture of him presenting the ship that he saw when he finally realized it wasn't. So here, tell me if you can't hear it. Let me know right away. But it should be good. I don't know. Here we go. It got to be turned up and everything.
Without a circle.
There we go.
And I think only a jet could fly that fast. And I am hoping I can find a good place where I can stop and really see this thing, whatever it is. And I see a wigwam, and I recognize this place, and I feel safe. I feel less in the barren hostility.
What is this place?
Wooded area.
What is this place?
It is Indian Head. I had been there before.
Like his hypnosis speech.
And I feel comforted that I see a familiar place. And I think I will get a good look at this, because Betty was very annoying. She was annoying by telling me look, and I can't look. I have to drive the car. I want to wake up.
You're not going to wake up. You're in deep sleep. You're comfortable, relaxed. This is not going to trouble you.
Here we go.
Go on.
This is chilling.
You can remember everything now.
It's right over my right. God. What is it?
It's a volume warning too.
And I try to maintain control so Betty cannot tell I am scared. God, I'm scared.
It's all right. You can go right on and experience it. It will not hurt you now.
I got to get my gun.
All right. All right. That's all.
Fine.
Go to
You see
sleep.
what they were?
You forget now.
Oh,
You
Lord.
forget it now. You've forgotten.
Okay. He
Ooh.
saw what they were and he had to get his gun. Now, this is a very important part of this story. Up until this point of the hypnosis, his speech, there's nothing in this that leads me to believe that it's fake. However, from this point that you just heard forward, I think it could be very fake. I think he woke himself up when he was screaming. Because his speech pattern changes. When he's under hypnosis, it's very regimented, the way he's talking. It's very it's a
Bam,
pattern.
bam, bam.
It's a
Bam, bam,
pattern.
bam.
It's a pattern.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah.
From that point, from him screaming and waking, I think he woke himself up. It's not like that anymore. That's what I noticed when I heard it initially earlier today. So that kind of leads me to believe that maybe from this point forward, it's fake, or he's just remembering instead of being under the hypnosis. So that is my speculation. I don't know if it's true or not, but listen to the way his.
Oh, that's code chilling though. The way them scream. That's like some torture type screams.
Not only that, but this is a man who has seen war. He has seen battle. And he got that scared. And that's what he said, God, I'm afraid. Like he was scared.
Oh my. Could you imagine if he got a shot off?
Yeah.
Calm now. Relax. Deeply relaxed. Deeply relaxed. You will not have to
Sorry,
make
I was
any
looking for
outcry.
closed captioned.
But you can remember it now. Keep remembering. You feel you have to get your gun. This is going to harm you, you felt.
I opened the trunk of my car. Did I get it? Did I get back in the car?
All right, just keep reasonably calm.
Speech pattern.
Did I put it in my coat?
It's not the same.
And then I get out with the binoculars. And it is there. And I look. And I look. And it shifts over. And I think, I'm not afraid. I'll shoot it down if I'm not afraid. And I walk out, and I walk across the road. There it is, up there. Oh, God damn it!
Calm down. Calm down, it's there, but you can see it, but it's not going to hurt you. Go on.
Why doesn't it go away? Look at it. There's a man there.
Calm. It's not going to hurt you.
There's a man there. And he's the captain. What is he? You gotta look at me.
Just a minute, let's go back a little bit now. You say it's there. Did you say it was 1,000 feet away?
Oh no.
1,000 yards?
It doesn't look that far. It's very big. And it's not that far. And I can see it tilted toward me.
Tilted? What does it look like now when you say tilted? Did you see wings?
Looks like a big pancake with windows and rows of windows and lights of not light, just one huge light. And
rows of windows like a commercial plane?
Rows of windows. They're not like a commercial plane because they curve around to the size of this pancake. And I say, my God, no. I have to shake my head. I got to.
So once again, you notice the speech pattern has changed.
Yeah.
He's not reliving the moment. He's remembering the moment now. He was in the moment.
When he was in the trance.
I think he woke himself up. That's my personal opinion. I hear the difference in the speech, it's like looking at it from the outside in. I feel like something changed, and that's the only thing I can think of is that he maybe woke himself up. But yeah, this thing is 40 minutes long. I don't want to play the entire thing, but
Right.
there's amount of fear in that man's voice. I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I don't
I'll
think
have
he.
to listen to this later.
I don't think he was
Man.
acting before he woke up. I don't think that's bone chilling to hear him screaming and stuff like that. That's basically the Betty and Barney Hill story. So
That's pretty crazy.
Dude, I wish we could have found when he starts getting like in the UFO.
yeah, so I'm sure it's there. I'll clip it in if it is. So this is something interesting. Like I said, they didn't really want the attention. Somebody had slipped the information out and got the information out, and then this was thrust upon them. But once it was, they embraced it. They went on TV. They went on different shows. They did all these different things, talked about it everywhere. I don't know if they made any money. I don't have a clue. I'm sure they did, maybe. I don't.
They definitely made money.
But the interesting thing is, like I said, the first thing that Barney supposedly had, the inclination he had when he got home, is he needed to check himself, make sure he was all right. And he was. 8 years later, he died of a hemorrhage in his stomach. It ruptured and he died. I'm pretty sure it was a stomach.
Yeah, it was a hemorrhage. He passed away in
So he got fucked by a xenomorph?
I don't know about no sexual things, but
well, he talks in his thing about what they went through. Betty's case, she was awake and was able to talk to quote leader.
yeah, so
And
they was touching her skin and stuff. Yeah, she saw a map.
There was like a star map. There's like a dotted map.
That's where they get the reticuli from.
Barney ended up dying in 1969.
Yeah, so it was
To a
8 years.
hemorrhage.
8 years later, he died
And Betty passed away,
in the 90s.
ironically, in 2004 from 2004 from where'd it go? It's some type of cancer.
A cerebral hemorrhage. It was a brain. It was a brain hemorrhage.
When did she pass away? My internet spiked badly.
2004. It said October 17th, 2004, at the age of 85. She never remarried.
Oh, damn, she lived pretty good. I guess the aliens didn't go after women.
Yeah, well, in her thing,
She died from cancer.
At the age of 85, she said that they were just touching on her skin. They were taking skin samples, and that they stuck a needle in her navel. That's all she really remembers, and she was scared it was going to hurt. Her belly button. She was scared it was going to hurt, and they kept telling her it wasn't going to hurt. It was just tests. And it did hurt, and she screamed, and then she woke up, basically. But
touch her skin.
Yeah, they were taking
aliens.
They made her take it. This is how she discovered her dress was ripped. So when she got on board the ship, this is under hypnosis. They made her take her clothes off, and as she was trying to undo her dress, something grabbed her dress and unzipped it and ripped it to help to make it quicker for her to get undressed. She said she never took off anything other than her dress. So she still, I guess she had underwear on. She laid down, and they were taking skin samples and stuff from her back. Like, I don't know, her hands, her back, and then she rolled over, and they stuck a needle in her belly button. Is basically all I ever saw that she remembered happening.
Yeah. She was able to talk to the quote leader and remembers a kind of like a bulletin board of a star map. She ended up drawing it. In reference, this is quote what the star map originally looked like. And scientists have tried to, I guess, name these stars. But here it is. As evidence of the star map that she had drawed. Get through this. Yeah, I like some evidence. There's a star map that she witnessed inside.
Well, that's not the hand-drawn one. I've actually seen the hand-drawn one.
I could find a hand-drawn.
Yeah, but that's the one that they matched it up to. Yeah. That's...
Interesting. Now, what's our star?
So the Reticuli is one of the. It's the closest binary star for the Zeta Reticuli are 2 and Zeta Reticuli are 2 stars that orbit each other. It's they're not planets, they're stars, and they orbit each other. The rest of these that are surrounding them are, I think, planets. The Reticuli in the center of the bottom right of those are stars. It's the closest. It's only 30.4, 30.9 light years away from Earth.
Okay, here we go. I got the photo. Nice.
All right. Yeah, actually, posted we were shitting this time, mister.
It's real. That's what they matched it up to. You can see once he sees the hand drawn.
Well, yeah, but show the authentic photo.
I got you right
here.
here.
Authentic.
Got you right here, home slice.
Yeah, hand me some of that fucking baloney.
I was trying to find it too. There you go. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what she claimed to see while being on the table. Being examined on.
Yeah, when you see all 3 of them even, like the real star map, the reality, what it somewhat looks like, basically, yeah. And what she drew.
Cool, man.
Supposedly.
Sucks they had to go through that.
But that doesn't mean that's where the aliens were from either. That's what they said that came from that. Like they came, but she just saw this map. They never said that that's where they were from. They never said any of that. It just was inferred that that's where they were from, or that's the story grew into that. She just saw this while on board the ship, and she remembered it under hypnosis.
The fact that they invented the word telepathically, quote unquote, was kind of crazy.
Yep, from this incident.
It said Barney seemed to be thought transference. At the time, he was unfamiliar with the word telepathy. It's wild, man. This was the
that's some crazy ass shit.
They apparently lived on with they would get headaches a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
The dog also acted strange and then ended up passing also. The dog was never the same.
Yeah.
But you can't, hypnotize a damn dog. That's until what they did with that thing.
Later on in this recording, apparently, or something I just saw that said that Barney described beings as general familiar. They basically described the exact same beings or whatever. He said that they stared into his eyes with a terrifying, mesmerizing effect. Under hypnosis, the quote is, "Oh, those eyes, they're in my brain." And I was told to close my eyes because I only saw 2 eyes coming close to mine. And I felt like the eyes pushed into my eyes. All I see is the eyes. I'm not even afraid, but they're not connected to a body. They're just there. like floating eyeballs.
That'd be terrifying. Imagine seeing that.
Or
Yeah, that is terrifying.
not only that, but this is the second time that I've heard something like this. The first time is a later story. It was my backup story in case they grabbed my little kid story about the school. But this was a fisherman, and this arm thing comes out of the wall, and it has an eyeball on it. It's an eye, a floating eye. Maybe he didn't see the arm that was connected to the wall. He just saw the eye. So it could have been the same style ship. But that's another story. But it's also an eye. So yeah. So while Betty reported the conversation with their leader was in English, Barney claimed that all he heard the Betty and the leader speaking were in a mumbling gibberish language that he did not understand. But she understood it when they were having conversations as being in English. When he was perceiving the conversation, he only heard them speaking in gibberish. So that's
There's
interesting.
another
Dang it, I
type
keep
of photo.
leaving these up.
Man's like, what the fuck am I speaking? Chinese, Japanese?
Yeah. I just find it
Book it up,
interesting.
book it up.
I like it, man.
The major thing that I find is interesting is this. And I can
Imagine being in their shoes, man.
well here's what I'm saying. I don't know. Gosh, I keep getting blurry. I don't know how many like veterans that you guys know or talk to personally. They don't show that level of fear. They
No.
don't. World War II, World War One, they're very hardened people to have gone. Like they show emotion privately. They would never show that amount of emotion in front of another person. So the fact that he is opening up that much under hypnosis, supposedly, like I said, I don't know if I believe in hypnosis. I can see both sides of this also. I do think it exists and it can be done, but that doesn't mean that the entire session is always under hypnosis. He could have broke himself out. I find the speech patterns different in spots. That doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. It's just my opinion that I think some of the story is maybe under hypnosis, some of it's not. That's my opinion. But still to show that level of fear, that level of stuff, I mean, to me, what he saw, he believed what he saw to a certain, to a thing.
And like the sheer terrifying is wild. Like the way he like outbursts like that. Oh my god, that gave me chills.
Yeah.
That was chilling. Could you imagine just seeing something like that?
Yeah.
Like, here's a drawing of what the aliens they hand drawed.
The first time that Greys had ever been experienced, because you got to remember too, nobody had ever seen aliens. They just saw UFOs up until this point. This is the first ever case of abduction, seeing beings.
Yeah.
This is their eyes wrapped around the sides of their skull, the big eyes like the aliens. That's why this picture, their eyes look small, but you got to remember it wraps around the side. That's why they're.
You could see it wrap around right there on the sides.
And their skin is gray, all that other stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you see it wrap around their face like that.
So it's definitely a very interesting story. It's flat disc.
Oh, that one's small.
He called it a pancake instead of a saucer. I thought that was very interesting. Flat pancake instead of a flying saucer. There's nothing that had been seen or experienced like that firsthand anymore, or at least taken. So I don't know, man.
Pancake saucer, yeah.
I think it's very cool. What you think about it, MissingPika?
Honestly, pretty interesting actually. And what you said, like you think the little dots she drawn were planets and all that shit?
Yeah, she said it was a star map. She knew it was a star map. She drew it. She just didn't know what it was. She knew the line, the way it was what the dots looked like. They pieced it together that it was a star map. Somebody else did and matched. It took them a year or so to match it up, supposedly, what I've seen in research.
That's a cool little photo.
She didn't know it was a star map. She just knew it was a bunch of dots. And somebody else realized an astrologist realized that it was a star map, and then it took them a while to match it up, and they
Right.
discovered that. So she never claimed, I don't think, that it was a star map until somebody else did.
I have a question. Since it's a star map, does that mean like has everyone figured like modern times that someone ever look back to this and see like, hey, does this actually hold up?
Yeah.
Oh, have they? That's cool.
You're saying if it's a real star map or not?
No, I'm saying like, did like scientists ever look back on this like, graph, the fucking star map, and determine if those stars actually do exist or not, or that they were just mistakes?
No, they're 100%. They're real. The map
okay.
is not only real, but it's accurate. Every planet lines up with those two stars exactly like she dotted it.
Well, they even have their clothes in like exhibits. Like Betty Hill's dress is like we're sitting here in a class.
Yeah, they run
case.
a bunch of tests and stuff on it and couldn't find anything because she claimed it was some kind of blue powder. And so, like almost out of instinct, she hung it up on the clothesline and the powder blew away, but they couldn't find any traces of anything.
Oh my gosh, she got rid of alien sperm.
She never, like I said, I never heard her say anything sexual at all. It was all skin related. That's what she said. They were skin samples.
Yeah, true.
So I thought that was kind of weird too.
Who knows what they fucking put on her? They fucking accidentally accidentally spilled some of their like weird alien DNA testing juice, whatever the fuck, on that dress. I don't know. Or
Ugh.
it just I don't know, man. Also, it is a cool story though. And yeah, about the vet thing, I 100% agree. Like, no veteran's gonna scream like that.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I've known a lot. I've seen them get emotional a few times, but nothing fear-based. Like I said, that's.
Here we go. This picture's got the patch that's torn and the white powder on the arm. It was left intact and put in a glass case after they tried to do analysis and nothing came back. After they analyzed everything, they put it in a glass box. Where you can see it at a museum today.
First reported. Like I said, to me, it's fascinating to know where these reports.
They were on Route 3 in New Hampshire.
The very first
US
ever
Route 3.
reported abduction. It's fascinating to know that all other, like this was the very first one that's ever reported of being taken aboard a ship, taken out of your day.
Mm-hmm. Blipped through time 3 hours
3 hours.
ahead.
Time difference in their travel pattern.
Beyond.
No, they lost 3 hours, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
Their trip took longer than it's supposed to by 3 hours.
And they ended up being 300 miles away.
I think it was 30.
Or not 300 feet. My bad.
I think it was 30 miles. That's what I think I read. 30 miles. When their consciousness came back, when they realized what they were 30 miles down the road from where they had stopped before. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. It was 30 miles, which I found fascinating because that number 30, the reticuli cluster is 30.9, 30.6 light years away from Earth.
That star map?
That star map.
God, did it take that long?
30.6, 30.9 light years away from Earth, and they appeared 30 miles down the road from where they disappeared, where they last remembered.
You gotta remember, Andrew.
We got
like these alien species. Like
September 19th.
Assuming they always, how like
30 p.m.
They can travel, space travel and shit. It's a possibility that since like they're multiple tiers higher, they're like the speed of their ships, they could do like fucking subspace gates or some shit, or fucking go as fast as light.
Yeah,
basically.
Probably faster than light.
It's a possibility, but I also understand that I understand the universe is kind of like make it hard of the idea of being faster than light actually possible outside of fiction. But like,
I love this. I knew this podcast was going to be a big long one. I love
but
it.
like,
I
yeah,
love it.
and there's
Yeah.
also the factor if they're not going that fast, it could just be a possibility that there's the lifespan is a lot larger than ours.
Well,
Yeah.
no, well, there's this thing too. The observer, the space or time is different for people that travel in space and at the speed of
true
light.
as well.
The speed of light, everything slows down. That I've thought about this for a long time too. It's just like what do they call that? It's there's a saying for that. I can't remember what it's called. Time dilation. Called time dilation.
Yeah.
So the faster you move this to the closer you move to the speed of light, the slower time goes for you.
For you and everybody else ages.
So theoretically speaking, if we are really, there's theory about every astronaut that's ever been to the International Space Station is younger when they come back. It's by seconds. Because they're not that
That's
far,
like,
but they're still closer to space than we are. They're traveling faster around the Earth than we are, so they're actually younger when they come back.
Like 3 minutes in light speed is like 40 some years down here. Oh my god. I heard that UFO come out.
That thing was the speed of sound. I don't know if it's the speed of light or not.
Yeah, he might have got slightly
Hey,
younger.
we've broken the sound barrier.
I smell ozone.
Nikola Tesla was believed he received signals from intelligent life forms, possibly quote-unquote Mars, in 1899. When he was testing equipment in Colorado, he reported hearing rhythm numerical or like 1, 2, 3, 4 signals, which was he believed were messages. While he felt like the community he was communicating with other planets, modern scientists attribute these to natural, quote, unknown cosmic radio waves. Signals received in 1899, Tesla observed the quote, disturbance I had observed might be due to an intelligent control, end quote, which he initially suspected came from Mars. The response efforts, Tesla spoke of sending reply, quote, 4 to establish the numerical dialogue with the supposed extraterrestrial intelligence. Talking with the planets, he publicly discussed this in 1901. Caller's weekly article arguing that it was improbable humans were the sole intelligent life in the universe. Quote, ancient astronaut theories. Some theories suggest Tesla was fed information from otherworldly sources, facilitating his advanced, controversial inventions.
Yeah, the stuff that he came to create, his creations, yeah.
Yeah, I seen that while I was doing some little bit of research. I was like, yo, he's a smart human.
Yeah, he was a smart motherfucker.
Possibly killed by our government, but he was really smart.
He was a villain too much.
They took like 23 to 27 cases of his stuff that never that disappeared and never came out.
That's crazy.
And then the next smartest man on our planet named one of his companies after him.
You know what? This gave me an idea about the government. You know the whole Epstein files? What's the Nikola Tesla files?
So Nikola Tesla was a very brilliant man to begin with. I do know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but like one of his, like the communications that he was receiving and hearing was like radio waves and stuff. He was listening for stuff like that. I don't know what he was hearing, but that puts me in mind, like if it was something from outer space or it was something, that he was receiving. It puts me in mind of those what do they get, the fast radio signals, the FR whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Like we had the one where the famous one where the people
Oh, the
from
famous.
from
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Ohio
about.
with the numbers and they got wow written beside of it.
Yeah, wow, the wow.
The wow signal, yeah, but those are called fast radio something or another, and they happen periodically. They're beamed from across outer space, and we picked them up. There's also speculation that that dude was cooking his food in a microwave when that was going on, and that interfered with that signal. But I don't know if they were able to recreate it or if it just caused another disturbance that was being able to pick up on, by the way, to give a little opposite side of the spectrum of what that wow signal is or could have
The
been.
cool thing about Tesla was originally, we had no planes. So he sketched one out. And oddly enough, what appears to be UFO-ified is what I'd like to call it. Because this right here is his. This is his site.
His whole life, he didn't die before we had planes, or he died before we had planes. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Wow. So he just drew a flying saucer and mapped it out.
1903 was the first flying plane by the Wright flyer.
Wright brothers.
Wright brothers. Yep.
He did. He died after that, didn't he? Pretty sure he said.
He died in 1943 at age 86.
That was definitely planes.
When did he make his, though?
I don't know. I don't know where you got this from. It's very interesting, though. It's probably trying to figure out if UFOs existed, how they would exist, maybe.
He patented okay, so this was 1911. He called it the flying machine. So yeah, it was
very much UFO.
Wright brothers was. He called it the flying machine in 1911. Wait, what was the Wright brothers? The first flying plane? Uh, 1903. So yeah, they already had planes. I just wonder.
Just not that anything that looked like that, unless it had been spotted.
A patent of the U.S. patent on the Wright brothers for their quote flying machine in 1906. Oh, that was the patent. That was what the original idea was. That just had got released to the public. That was the original sketch for the first plane. Before the one they did make. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. If Tesla really got signals from outer worldly.
Yeah.
Yo, not gonna lie. Him at the age of 88, he looked like an alien himself. I'm no joke. Dude.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Trying to find the biggest one of these. I wish it showed you that.
No, I'm joking. I'm not. I ain't making fun of nobody, but man, look at him. Look at this papaw, son.
Did you already send it?
Yeah, I'm putting it in there right now. Dang notification! Get out of my way.
Right, I got one better for you when we're ready for all. Oh yeah, that's when he before he died.
Photo.
Before he died.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of look like one.
His
I'm kidding.
jaws all sunken in and stuff.
What if he was?
What
if he was? That's why he was so smart.
I think he was brilliant. I know that.
All are smart people on planet. It's just aliens.
You're talking about this, bringing this up in my brain though. I bet you never. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but I think it's fascinating. Talking about how he drew a UFO before he drew a UFO. What do you think about this? If you've seen it before, you've seen it before. If not, it trips me out just a little bit. Upload a file. There we go. What about? Oh, send, man, send. I don't know why it's not letting me hit enter. There it goes. Egyptian hieroglyphics. It looks like a car.
Oh my god, the hieroglyphics!
It looks like a car. It looks like a UFO. It looks like a helicopter. Some kind of jet tail from the side perspective.
And this was way before time.
Yep, you got.
Exists.
Look at the car. It looks like something out of the 50s, like the long body.
Yeah,
the helicopter's spot on.
The helicopter looks like exactly what we got.
I know that's small. I tried to find the biggest one that I could find, but
dude,
I'll try to.
Yeah, hieroglyphs, dude.
Yeah, that's
them damn Egyptians, man.
But
the pyramids, bro.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. We can come back to that too, or talk about it later.
Ooh, the pyramids.
What was your?
I don't know how the hell humans build them damn big ass blocks with no machinery.
Do you have anything else about the Tesla thing, or that was it? Like his his lightning electric thing. He's trying to get energy from the ether.
Yeah, the ether.
We don't have an ether, but yet energy should be free. And the reason why they didn't do it, like he had sponsors. Some of the most rich people in the world was giving this man money to come up with this stuff. He's like,
"Oh, what's your free electricity for everybody?"
Yeah, what's your idea? And he's like, "I'm gonna give the world free energy." And he goes, "Well, hold on a minute. How are we gonna charge people for it?" And he's like, "We ain't. It's gonna be free energy." And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna pull my fund, and I can't make money from this if it's free." So we could have had the world could have complete free electricity, but no, they gotta plug us up to a meter and charge us for it. Yeah, he was a brilliant man, and he was doing it too. They just pulled all the funding. He didn't have the money to do his stuff himself. But yeah, he was definitely a brilliant man. Where he got his knowledge from.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how the government hid so much of his shit after he died, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes you wonder just how true they are, how well they age.
The entire thing that ever got me into aliens, anything that I never, I just didn't think that stuff like that, I didn't give it no mind at all until I heard about a little case and a man named Travis Walton. It's my favorite story of all time. And in the intro, it was talked about this man was a logger. He removed trees, cut down trees in the middle of the woods. In 1975, he was 22 years old, and he was on a crew. And the crew had a contract to clear these mountains in Arizona. Yes, there is forests in Arizona. And the funny thing about this, if there is any, it was the name of the closest town to where they was at was called Snowflake, Arizona. It's irony. But there's no snow in Arizona, but the name of the town was Snowflake, the closest town. They're clearing the mountains, and that's hard work. I don't care who you are, running chainsaws all day long. Your arms, that beats you to death. Hard work, hard labor, hot in the forest or whatever, and you're isolated with just you and your crew for miles and miles and miles. They get to the end of their work day, and they pile all their tools up in the truck, and they load into the truck. There's a five or 6 man crew. I can't remember now. One of them is a relative of his. It's his sister's husband. He's the foreman of the crew. It's his truck. Everybody piles in. All the rest of the co-workers, he knew them. They'd worked together for a little while on these contracts, and he got along with everybody. There was one bad seed, one bad guy in the group, if you would even call him that, and he just was an attitude mouthy guy. And they had a disagreement during that work day. This is all relative later to the story. They had got into an argument over something at the lunchtime that day, and the dude literally had a running chainsaw to Travis Walton's head, just to get under his skin. Didn't mean anything by it, like I'm going to kill you. It was just to get under his skin. That becomes relevant later in this story. So they pile up at the end of the workday. They're all exhausted. They're all beat, and all they want to do is get down the mountain and get home. They've busted their butt all day. It's getting dark, and they load it up. And as they're driving down this mountain, it's probably, I don't know the exact number, but I know it takes a while to get out of these woods and back to the closest town. It's dark. It's starting to get dark, and it is dark, and they see a light in the woods. A big glowing light in the woods, and their first thought, above all, is holy crap, there is a forest fire, and we're going to get trapped on this mountain and burn to death. Second thought for the foreman was, it's burning up the trees that we're supposed to cut down. I'm going to lose this contract.
Right.
But they keep driving. He's like, it's a fire. It's got to be a fire. It's too bright. It's lighting up too much of the forest. It's a big, big, big fire. We're screwed. We got to get down this mountain before we get trapped. So he's driving fast, and down these little mountain roads, barely a lane for a big work utility truck. And the closer they get, the more it's starting to not look like a fire. There's no smoke. And they're all like, weirded out, can't figure it out. They don't smell smoke. They don't see smoke. They don't smell fire. They don't nothing. They're just a bright light. And they come around this bend, and there is a UFO sitting in a clearing in this woods. Straight UFO. And the driver panics and slams on the brake, and they slide to a stop. And before the vehicle comes to an even complete stop, Travis is outside of the truck.
What? Completely?
He jumps out of the truck. He cannot believe what he sees, and he wants to get closer to it. Everybody else stays in the truck and piles to the side of the vehicle that the UFO is on. And they're screaming at Travis at the top of their lungs. Travis, what are you doing, you idiot? Get in the truck. Get back in the truck. Cold chills. Because he's like me in a way. When I see something that's awesome like that, that's out of this world, I don't know if I would get that close to it, but I am not going to look away. I'm not going to run. I can't. I'm too curious. I'm too creatively minded.
Yeah.
And he inches closer and closer and closer to this thing. And it's emitting a noise. It's like a wave. It's like a in the middle of the silence of this woods. And he's astonished by it. And he keeps getting closer and closer. And he walks into the clearing. And they can the whole truck of his co-workers are sitting on this road screaming at the top of their lungs at him to get back in the truck. And it's to the point where he's looking at an angle. This thing's levitating off the ground like 20 foot, but it's in an opening of trees, a clearing where through the canopy it could sit like below the tree line but not touch the ground. And these are massive trees. So it had sunk, but it was still off the ground a good 20 foot. And he turns around to the truck to throw up his arms like, look how cool this is. When the gets so loud that the truck is vibrating. And they know
You're blurred.
as loud as he is, as loud as that sound is, that Travis can no longer hear him. Come on. So there's no screaming loud enough for him to be able to hear them over the noise, and they can't hear Travis. They just see him. Mm-hmm. And it's so loud, like I said, the truck is vibrating. And all of a sudden, a light kicks on. It's a blue beam directly at Travis. Hits him right in his chest. A laser light. It's not even a laser beam. It's more like a bright, directed light. It hits him square in the chest, and his body flies like 10 or 15 feet into the air and backwards. Like he hit, boom! boom. He flies backwards and hits the ground.
Yeah.
Freaking laser beam.
He rolls. Well, laser, you think a laser, it would burn through something. So it's more of like a
Right.
energy light. Boom. Knocked him away from the craft. He hits the ground and rolls a little bit, and they think he's dead. They think he just got shot by a UFO. He's dead. They panic. And they smack the driver, who's his own brother-in-law. Go, 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 go. And they panic and they leave him. They get down to they don't go all the way to the bottom of the hill, I don't think. They drive far enough away that they can still see the light in the woods. Or they don't. They drive far enough away that they can't see the light anymore. The light disappears, and they pull over. They stop. They panic. They jump out. What the hell? It got Travis. What are we gonna do? Oh my gosh! And we can't leave him. I'm not going back. To that thing. You go back. No, I'm not leaving anybody else. Everybody's getting in this damn truck, and we're going back for Travis. That's my brother-in-law. I can't look at my sister in her face, knowing I left her brother up here to die. Get in the damn truck. We're going back for Travis. They go back to the spot. No Travis. No body. No light. No UFO. Nothing.
God, dude.
There's no cell phones in 1973, 1975. No cell phones. Nothing. They had to go all the way down. Probably a 30-minute drive from that point forward, 30, 40 minutes down the mountain. Through these logger roads, weaving through the mountains to get to a payphone, and they call the police. Sheriff shows up, and they see 5 men in shock. They are terrified, and the only one that is able to actually speak to the cops is Travis's brother-in-law. His name is Mike. He tells them exactly what happened. And the first
Those interviews were trippy.
The first thought on the sheriff's mind is, which one of you killed Travis and hid his body in the woods? Because this story makes 0 sense. And they're like, we'll take you back to where we saw him last. So the sheriff's like, it's dark, boys. I ain't going up this mountain in the dark. Y'all must be crazy. He called for backup. Like 10 cops show up, and they ended up going up to the top of the mountain with flashlights, and they looked for 10 or 15 minutes, if that. No Travis. Everybody screaming for Travis. No answer. Nothing in the woods. So they go home. Like, go home and don't leave town. Because they don't think it's aliens. They think somebody murdered them.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, broad daylight, they go up at a massive search party, and they search I don't know how many square miles. No sign of Travis. No sign of nothing. There's nothing but trees and woods and animals on this mountain. And so they take every single one of the people in the crew. The town goes into shock. Like, one of these guys, they murdered him. They call every single one of these guys in and interrogate them. Day 1, or day 2, technically the morning of day 2. They interrogate them.
Didn't they make a movie about this too?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Is there a movie?
I've read the book. I read the book first.
watched
It's
the movie,
fascinating. The movie is so good too. The movie doesn't do the book justice what he claims happened, because it leaves a large chunk out. We'll get there too. But anyways,
the movie.
So day 1, they interrogate every single one of these guys. They're all telling me the exact same story. The one bad egg doesn't like cops. He has a record. It's petty. Ain't no murder. But he doesn't like cops. There's people in this world that doesn't like cops. It doesn't make them murderers.
Right.
But also, and you got to look at this situation. If something he knew that those cops didn't believe him. He knew that there's no way that the cops believed him. He knew he was the only one on the crew with a record. He knew that they were looking at him. So he didn't cooperate fully. He told them the truth. They didn't believe him, and he clammed up. Screw you guys. I told you what happened. Everybody's telling you what happened. You ain't believing me. You ain't believing us. This goes on for at least 2 days. Day 3 or 4, still no Travis. No word. News is leaked out. News crews are starting to show up. Local missing man on the mountain, missing logger. They bring in the state of Arizona has brung in the most highly. They've flown in a guy from, I don't know if he's FBI, CIA, I don't know what he was, but at this
They do a
time,
lie detector test.
at this time, he was one of the top guys in the country for lie detector tests. Now we know lie detector tests today are admissible in court. Those days, I don't know if it was. I think it could hold up in court, possibly. If not, it was a big character thing. Regardless, it may. I don't know about legally. I have to look that up. I'm not sure about that, but I do know still, regardless of legality, at that time it was looked at as a big character thing. You're willing to do this, and this is what the test says. 4 out of the 5 men passed the lie detector test. 100%. No failure rate. The 5th was the guy that didn't trust the cops. And he did not fail the test. It was inconclusive. There's a major difference there. Failure is showing deception. Inconclusive just means that his heart rate fluttered. He didn't try. He didn't like the situation that he was in. Did not mean he was lying. It's inconclusive. That's one major plot in this thing that I've said from day one. They all passed. Not a single one of them ever failed. There was one inconclusive. That inconclusive still, he agreed to a second test before Travis showed back up and passed. So he did the test twice and passed.
They all passed.
They all passed, and eventually they all passed. Yep, they didn't know what to do. Don't leave town. You cannot leave town, because it's still an investigation. They went.
Didn't they almost lock the whole town down?
Yeah, they looked a second time up on this mountain. Day 4, they looked a second time. It may have been the morning of day 5. They did a second search. They couldn't find nothing nowhere.
They swept the whole forest.
They couldn't find any helicopters, plane. They couldn't find nothing nowhere. The evening of night 5, Mike is sitting at his house. Ooh, it gives me cold chills. They eating supper and the phone rings. This is Travis's sister. The phone rings. There's a voice on the other end that you can barely make out. He says, Mike, it's Travis. He's calling from a payphone on the other side of the mountain.
Bro.
They jump in their trucks, panicked. Mike jumps in his truck, his sister jumps in the truck, and they fly to the payphone where Travis tells him he's at. And it's in the middle of nowhere. It's an abandoned gas station with a payphone. And he has a scruffy beard, about like mine. He'd been gone for 5 days. He had the same, maybe a week or 2 week beard growth on him, and was pale, was super dehydrated. He had no energy whatsoever, could barely talk. All he wanted to do was go home. That's all he wanted before he got out of that truck, before he was fascinated. So secretly, they didn't tell anybody. He wanted a night's rest. They drove him back home. And they gave him they hid him for like 2 or 3 days. I think that was a piece of their mistake. They hid Travis for 2 or 3 days to let him get physically better.
Yeah,
but so he could present himself to the cops. I think that was a big mistake, because instantly they should have said, hey, we got Travis. That would have helped the story be a little bit, but also in the same time, this is his sister, this is his brother-in-law. You don't care about what the cops and everybody think. You want what's best for Travis. That's your family. You want him to be good before you present. Anyways, a couple days later, they call and present their story to the cops, and obviously they think it's a hoax. They think something's going on. Travis eventually they get Travis to pass lie detector tests, and his story comes out. and it became eventually a book, which eventually became a movie. The book came out in the 80s. The movie came out in the 90s. I own both, by the way. I got the book in my nightstand still. I'm pretty positive it's in my nightstand over there. If not, I should have got it for this. But it's called Fire in the Sky. The movie,
Fire in the Sky. Yeah, that's also what the movie's called too.
Book, yeah,
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky. And
I was trying to think of it.
Absolutely fascinating. That's the history of that. Travis's story, like everything that I told you is in the movie. The abduction piece in the movie is only about 6 to 8 minutes. That's what I find. That's what I find sad. Oh, the last third of the book is about the aliens and abduction. He saw Nordic aliens. He saw the Nordics, the white, beautiful people, the white men.
Mm-hmm.
He saw a mute human. He was a man, but he could not speak. He saw the Greys. They did tests on him, both sexual in nature and health in nature. They experimented on him. They shoved crap down his throat, goopy stuff. He woke up. So basically, the beam of light hit him, and that's all Travis remembered initially. Under hypnosis and under everything else, over time, his memories come back that he woke up in a pod up on the ship. It was a goopy mess of a pod, and he tore himself from this pod. And
kind of like an incubator.
Yep. And they realized he was still awake, and they took him, drug him back to continue doing experiments on him. And once they realized he was still, because I think they thought they killed him, or maybe the beam did kill him or injured him enough that he should have died, and they either brought him back. They saved him, brought him back to life or whatever, and then placed him back to where he could call for help. That's what he thinks. That's out of the words out of his own mouth. That's what he thinks.
Oh my God.
They had him, so he was alive, so they experimented on him, and then they put him back. That's what he thinks. But there was...
That'd be such a shitty situation. And then, like,
escapes
trying to make people believe.
In the book, he escapes from the ship, only to find that the ship is parked inside of a mothership. He comes out of this ship, and there's like 15 more ships inside of a hangar on this mothership. So he's still trapped. That's where he meets the Nordics. They still say that they weren't in charge of the ship. There was like a bunch of different alien races and cloned humans that weren't quite right, but still had human bodies. Were all it's all in it. All this stuff is in his book. That's not in the movie.
I gotta read the book.
And they took him back. They brung him back or whatever. But yeah, that's. I'm telling you, it's so fascinating.
Like, bro, being in that abducted situation would be such a shitty spot. You're trying to make people not think you're psychotic or like you're having a mental breakdown, and you're just stuck with this experiment.
And Travis is still alive today. He still does interviews every once in a while. He went to a bunch of UFO things coming through it. He drug his feet. He's one of the most famous abductees in the history of abductions, and he didn't want to talk about it. And there's one, and this gives me chills too. So a couple of years ago, he's getting up in age. Like I said, he was 22. Right. He was 22 in 1975. So he's getting up in age, but he agreed to do a podcast for an interview for this person. And he pulls up at the meeting spot. This is from the podcaster's perspective. He pulls up at the spot, and Travis pulls up in his truck and sits there, doesn't get out. And the guy starts getting weirded out at the situation because he sits for so long. And he's like, am I supposed to go to him? I thought he was coming to me and we were going somewhere. And he sits there and he sits there and he sits there, and Travis doesn't move.
Could you imagine if we got Travis on this pod? 35
to 40 minutes later, Travis finally gets out of the truck and comes and gets in the truck. And he's like, I don't want to be rude or whatever, but you said you had a limited time to do this, and then you pull up and sit for 40 minutes. And Travis looks at the man dead in his eyes, and he said, I've talked about the worst day in my life so many times, but it never gets old. I still relive it every single time I have to tell this story, and it takes me that long, if not longer, to prepare myself to even talk about it again.
Right.
that's real. That's trauma. That's
Yeah.
PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And you don't
a
escape that
lot.
either.
You can't fake that shit.
That's a lifetime type shit.
Yeah, you get
To the lifetime subscription.
To me, it's
forever.
the most believable case of all the cases that have ever existed that I know about. And
I never got Travis on this.
That's what got me into aliens. He's fascinating. It is a fascinating story. I don't know if it's true or not. I have no idea. I personally believe it. What those aliens are, I still am on the fence about. But I think it happened, and I think it is utterly fascinating. So crazily cool. But that's the Travis Walton Fire in the Sky story. That's Travis today, basically. It's 2019, but yeah.
Yeah, he's aging pretty well.
His story has never changed. Not one word.
That's definitely crazy.
What they made the aliens look like in the movie is crazy, dude. Oh shoot! Like this is him on the Joe Rogan podcast. That's fast.
Oh, he was on Joe Rogan?
Yes, he was. But this
I gotta go listen.
This is a screenshot from. Well, come on, thing. My thing almost locked up. This is a screenshot what they made the aliens look like. That's from the film. That's
I remember. Yeah,
what the aliens look like.
They kind of like mad looking. Look how mad he looks.
Yeah. But yeah, he's on the podcast, Joe Rogan. They said he's very private now. He feels like that's time. He's talked about it enough. He just wants to live in peace, and I can respect that.
Well, here's Skinny Boob. 50-second clip, bit gritty.
Oh, is it that thing walking across the road or something? I think I've seen this.
I don't know. Skinny Booby.
It's a stick figure looking thing walking across the road.
Did I just hear who just said skinny boobies?
Oh yeah, this is supposedly the Area 51 video.
Oh, interesting.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Ooh, he looks squishy.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I think this has been revealed as a hoax.
He looks squishy.
Wow, he's a nutsack head.
It's a puppeteer animatronic thing that they were testing out. I think.
Really?
Honestly, that's likely the case.
90% sure.
Well, I've heard that, and I've also heard like his movements was really hard to debunk, but was that his eyes?
It's very possible. I don't disbelieve anything really until it's 100% proven, and the fact that it's still questions, who knows? But
that was Skinny Bob. Can't really read nothing. It's all in Spanish over here.
So we rapid fire some stories here at the end.
Skinny Bob, yeah.
Nobody has any.
The video displays the gray alien, often referred to as short gray, with a large bulbous head, slender body, large, dark, abolished shaped eyes. Despite lacking concrete proof of the origin, the video has sparked significant discussion regarding its legitimacy. The footage, which appeared in 2011, has been widely shared and analyzed, creating a lasting impact on the UFO community. We got found germs in the atmosphere of Venus in 2020. Scientists detected psilocybin gases in the Venus's acidic clouds, a chemical that on Earth is produced by bacteria in oxygen-starved environments. 1996, researchers identified a potential fossil-like microbial life in the meteorite ALH84001, which originated on Mars.
And now they've found water on Mars. Is it true? Yeah, water.
Exoplanet K218b, the James Webb Space Telescope detected a carbon-bearing molecules, including
diothane sulfide, which on Earth is exclusively produced by living organisms, and space hardy Earth microbes. Studies shows that Earth bacteria such as Deinococcus rhidodocarus can survive extreme codes, including the pressure of an asteroid impact and high radiation environment, supporting the theory that life could transfer between planets.
Cockroaches, them motherfuckers can survive anything.
Yeah.
Besides my 808.
Yeah, it's very I think that certain life can survive on other planets. It's proven they found microorganisms and stuff. I think it obviously it can.
Scientists continue to study whether microbes can exist or could exist beneath the surface of Mars or inside the ice moons of Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah.
I mean, microbes on different planets.
Anything else? Yeah.
Could result in aliens. Well, not result in aliens, but they can be quote unquote determined aliens. They're not on Earth.
Yeah. Life is life. I mean, that doesn't mean they're beings flying saucers, though.
We do have other earthly-like planets, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many are we up to now?
I don't know.
Shit ton. Let's just say a shit ton. Oh wait, no, it shows it 6,138.
That's just exoplanets. Does an exoplanet automatically mean that they're habitable? They're in the habitable zone.
Well, no. But like, when it comes to Earth-like, we don't exactly know if they're Earth-like or not technically, because we're just observing far, far away. We don't have like actual substance data and all that shit. So for all we know, those planets that like, oh, they don't look habitable, could be the most habitable fucking planet in the solar system. Yeah. Depending on how hot the suns are over there and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we really don't know if the Earth's like until we're like on them, I would reckon.
Yeah. But there's a chance that most of them do have life, even if it's just like a bacteria.
The closest one, though, the closest one to us, though, is 145, so it ain't gonna benefit us. 145 light years.
Come on, Elon Musk.
Musk.
Somebody got to create cryo chambers, put us to sleep, and we can wake up there.
This man is looking up exoplanets. Most Earth-like exoplanets.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Galician. 22 light years away from Earth.
See, this stuff like this is it's speculative because nobody's been there to take that picture or know what it looks like. All we got is information numbers on a you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they just.
Well, we're assuming the oxygen is even fucking breathable.
Yeah, it's just guesses, man, and that's the educated guess.
Which even then, it could be breathable to them.
They're educated guesses.
But if they're Earth-like,
there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to acknowledge that they're guesses.
I feel like the minute
it also could be possible that their oxygen is breathable to them, but not to us.
Also, like
that's also a possibility.
I think we should, if they have plants, then
yeah,
I don't know. Because if they have plants, then there's oxygen. Should be.
Nah, man. I just imagine we go, if somehow technology advances super fast and we're all still alive, which is not gonna happen. But like,
we're too worried about that shit down here.
If it somehow did happen, imagine just going to one fucking planet and like you see like, I don't know, like fucking dino people, fucking scalies or some shit, or fucking furries. That'd be fucking creepy and crazy. But it's not just humans, it's different types of groups. That'd be pretty cool, actually.
UFOs and nuclear sites.
Yes, where they're disarming and supposedly turning the hitting the off
Yeah.
switches.
I've seen that
That's
too.
what I'm saying. What my thing is, why are they so interested? That's the thing that gets me. Why do
what if they're
they
scared of it?
care about little old us? But why? Like I said, worst case scenario for them, we can blow ourselves up. We don't exist anymore. Worst case scenario for them, we learn space travel and then we take a nuke to them. Well, then just stop the space travel and not the nukes. Why don't I care if you blow yourself up? As long as you can't get to me with it, it don't matter. That's what I just don't understand why that makes any sense, but I don't know.
Bro, and another
That's
factor
that's another thing that makes me lead toward demonic. You don't want humans to kill themselves because you lose all your power.
Another thing that I thought of is we glanced over it a little bit is the ancient freaking
Yeah.
glyphs. Like we got everybody thinks, I mean, I can't put everybody, but like the pyramids matching with the pyramids on the other side of the earth. Now they're speculating that there's another pyramid underneath Antarctica, and like
Or
the pyramids,
the whole
interesting
black cube thing at the top of the world, Antarctica. Could be fucking alien technology or something. I don't know, man. It's all crazy to me. It's all crazy, and it all could be true, and it all could be crazy. I think it's awesome that we really don't know, but I think what we do know.
I feel like we'd have to make this a part 2.
Yeah, we have to.
Like I got my last story. I don't know if y'all even heard of it before, and that's why. And it's a quick hitter, but it's somewhat famous. But it's still so far before y'all's lifetimes that I don't think you've ever heard of it before. And it answers a major question on: do the presidents really know?
Yeah. Did you actually, speaking of presidents, someone interviewed Obama and asked him if aliens were real, and he was like, "Yep."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
And now he's coming out saying that he never said that.
Yeah.
That was fake.
Yeah.
These were apparently the
could be
rays
real, could
found
be fake.
at the
You got AI. You're supposed to question anything nowadays because AI.
Roswell fellers. The goofy little shits that couldn't fly their saucer, apparently. Little shits. Ugh. Nasty little bitch.
Yeah.
How you gonna wreck, bruh? How do you gonna wreck? You got big ass eyes.
Yeah.
Roswell, dude, this photo. Look how fat his thighs are. Jesus, fatty. You're the one that caused him to wreck. You overweight.
He was back there eating instead of flying a ship.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I just think all this is fake stuff to me.
I wish I could see a little guy like that.
No.
That is so plastic looking.
Yeah, that's all
yeah,
fake
that was fake.
me.
Bro, freaking I think I would love to have an alien as a buddy if it was like Paul. You ever watched the movie Paul?
Heck no, I still wouldn't want
You
one.
ain't never watched Paul?
I've seen it, bits and pieces.
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
I think it's so stupid though. I can't.
It's so funny
I
though.
don't think it's funny. But everybody
Have a best friend as an alien like that.
I don't know.
I think that
couldn't
scene
do
where
it.
I like that scene where he's in the office, the Pentagon office, and they're asking about movie situations, and he's like I'm the one that created E.T.
Yeah.
and shit like that.
When we talking about buddies, it'll be a perfect segue to, we're gonna try to get to my last thing and then we're done. I think this is before y'all's lifetime, so y'all might never know about this, but the whole Richard Nixon incident, Richard Nixon, president of the United States. So he was impeached. Everybody knows that for the whole thing. Do you also know that to this day, He's the most popular president in the history of presidents. Everybody calls him a crook and blah, 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 blah. He did this, and he had the highest rating of popular vote in the history of voting.
Yep.
And then everything fell apart for him. But anyway, he was best friends with an actor, a comedian, named Jackie Gleason. They were best friends, and they smoked cigars and drank stuff together and did all this other stuff, hung out all the time. And when Jackie Gleason died, Nixon was already dead. Jackie Gleason's wife told a story that he told her before he died. And they were on the beach in Florida one day, hanging out, and Jackie Gleason looked at him and said, "What do you know about aliens?" And Nixon said, "Not much. Would you like to see one?"
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember that.
And so, supposedly...
That would be hell yeah.
Supposedly, he put Gleason on board a helicopter, or a plane of some sort, and they flew to a base called Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. And he took him into this facility as the president. They can't tell him no if he's there in person. He walked right in with Jackie Gleason in tow, took him straight to the freezers, and showed him alien bodies in freezer units in an Air Force base in Florida.
That would be dope.
A top secret Air Force base, and showed him extraterrestrial remains. It supposedly happened in February of 1973. According to the story, which originated from Gleason's wife, the comedian was deeply shaken from the experience because he didn't know if he believed in them or not. He just wanted to know what the president knew and believed in, and the president never confirmed anything. He told him straight, "Not much. Do you want to see him?" Right. Didn't say a word. They got on a boat, and it took it. So, yeah, he was always interested in UFOs, but didn't really know if he believed or not. But supposedly the quote from his wife was, after the event, he was completely shaken to the core and refused to describe what he saw, only that they were 100% alien if they were real, and it was presented to him as real by the President of the United States. The story was first reported in the late 70s. Some accounts also says that that the incidents, something similar was alleged by President Eisenhower to a reporter and an author, happened before Nixon, but it was never confirmed. This story has never been 100% confirmed and is firmly implanted as UFO folklore. But so I mean, there's never been nobody to confirm that it happened or that it's real. But there's no way that this Jackie Gleason guy would have ever lied about it and changed his demeanor whenever aliens was ever brung up, when he was so interested in it before.
Damn.
I mean, what president take you
I wish I could do it.
Take you to some refrigerator, freezer units and say, "Here you go. That's what they look like. That's the ones. That's some of the ones we have."
That's why Nitzard. That's why Richard Nixon is always a Chad.
I am not a crook.
He's got the pose. He's got the songs. He got the everything.
I'm not a crook. It's 3:30 in the morning.
I'm in pain.
3:30 in the morning, viewers. If I leave this clip in,
Dude,
he's hurting. He's in pain. My elbow's a little sore too. I got 2 elbow bump. I don't know what's wrong with mine, but you see that bump? That's not my elbow. See how big that sticks out?
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's quick.
That was our first episode on aliens. We got more to come, we hope. So give us an outro there, Rogue.
So that's going to be the episode on the aliens. We will have more aliens to come, so stay tuned for the alien lovers like us. Next week, we are going to head into creepypastas and how they changed the internet with found footage and the old internet nostalgia. So if you like that, tune in next week with us. Go ahead and round it off. We got OneLane
Yeah.
We got Pika and GoneRogue here. Hit up the description and there'll be links to their channels. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite part, and let us know your thoughts down below because that is great feedback. And subscribe. This has been Midnight Enigma.
That's
And
right.
hope
Catch you
y'all
next week.
enjoy. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Now fuck off.
Woo. Yeah.